Hello, and welcome to another Daily Dose of Insights powered by Container Exchange. My name is Christian, and every other day we bring to you the key news, stories, and data points that move container markets and hence your business. Today it's Friday, so we have Fundamentals Friday here at DDOI or at xChange. Let me quickly share my screen to give you a little bit more guidance of what I'm talking about. Today, actually, just very much a focus on one headline. I read in the Hellenic Shipping News, a very interesting article featured by or written by Zeneta that focused on a Zeneta mini-series called No Two Trades Are Alike. And here they are specifically looking at the Transpacific backhaul trade. So the trade, containerized trade that goes from the US West Coast back into Asia. And they look at the rate development. And it's a very interesting trade because contrary to the worldwide rate meltdown, it holds up surprisingly well, right? So you see here on the left-hand side, these are the rates. Light blue is spot and dark blue is the long-term rates. You see how that, of course, increased in line with the worldwide rate development at the beginning of 2020 due to the COVID disruptions. But since then, it has held its ground. While worldwide rates have come down significantly. Now, the article discusses in detail, what are the drivers on backhaul trades, and there's, of course, Asia is a very diverse region, and, you can't just pinpoint that on one specific country, but it also mentions that container imbalances might be a little bit of a small driver here. Well, I would argue that it's actually the biggest and single most important driver here. If you look at the right graph, which is some research that Drew just published earlier this week, it's really container imbalances. So the bottom, below zero line, so to speak, below the x-axis, it's net exporters, so shortage of containers in thousands of TEU. So these, so here you see gray. Asia is a net exporter of containers with about 35 million TEUs per year. And on the other side, you see the net importers of containers, where typically you have an excess situation of containers. And actually, interestingly, that's the rest of the world here. And you see both of these graphs sort of diverging, meaning that there is increasing imbalance in container trades worldwide. You had a little bit of a slowdown of that sort of just prior to COVID, and then COVID just gave it another boost of imbalances as the world was hungry for all those Asian consumer good exports, essentially. And very interestingly, a big part of that increase in imbalance is actually driven by Transpacific trade. If you look at sort of the blue, so the increase of that blue line here, or the blue bars, which is essentially North America. Now, if you bring that together, container trade is significantly more imbalanced on Transpacific, meaning that there is 4 times as many imports into the US or into North America from Asia than there is exports back to Asia. That means there's significant volume of containers that need to be transported back. As a carrier, as a container shipping line, you always have the choice of bringing back your empties or booking laden cargo. Now, the laden cargo back from North America is typically very heavy. It's soybeans, it's other agricultural products, it's nuts, etc., etc. Which means that if you put one laden box onto a container vessel, you can't anymore put as many empties onto the vessel. And you essentially, for every laden box, you lose more than one empty box that you can reposition. So that's why carriers typically interested more in moving their empty boxes back to Asia, repositioning them, because then there they have typically higher export volumes, etc., than on the other way. Very interesting though is if you look at this now, it looks like this backhaul trade is actually more profitable for carriers than the head haul. Well, of course, that's a question of utilization, because as I said, the backhaul trade is just 1/4 or 25% roughly of what you see on the head haul. Now, very interesting sort of fundamental discussion. I think what shapes our world and our world of container logistics. If you want to read more, I'm going to link the article that I'm citing here on the Hellenic Shipping News. I'm going to link that in the post, and maybe that's a good reading for the weekend. Apart from that, I'm super keen to hear your views. So if there's any thoughts, comments, discussion that you want to bring up, please feel free to drop that in the comments underneath the video. And I'm happy to receive, discuss, and reply, of course. Now, that's it from me, from us for today. Have a fantastic start into the weekend, and see you all on Monday. Take care.